Welcome back to another episode of podcast. Today we have a very special guest. In our life, we observe number of problems in the society, but there are very few people who take the steps and try to solve that issues. Today we have a very special guest, Navira Barfi. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having
I'm
me.
That's great. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. Navira, first of all, we want to know about yourself or about your education.
Well, I did my undergrad in economics from LUMS. I graduated in 2019. I took a year off. I worked for Zameen.com for a while, and that's also the time when we set up the school. And then I moved to the US. I'm currently pursuing my master's degree. I'm about to graduate soon, and that's about it.
That's great. And how would you manage during the COVID your education and this project?
It's been difficult in the sense that I was expecting. So when I moved here, when I was planning to move here, COVID hadn't hit yet. So we didn't know that this year would be this difficult and there would be so many problems going on. We'd already set up the
Wow.
school. We already had our SOPs in place. So my expectation was that we'd just be following all of that and we'd be adding on more things as we go along. I honestly wasn't expecting that this entire year would be a
Um,
mess of schools opening up and closing down and distance learning and all of those things.
every month we have a new policy that school will be closed and school will be open. So it's difficult for all of us.
It's difficult, especially with the time difference as well. So,
Uh, yes. It also matters a lot. So basically, what's the idea behind the Al Bayan school system?
so the idea behind Al Bayan is to provide quality education to everyone, regardless of your socioeconomic background. So the problem that I feel is in Pakistan is the fact that good education is provided to the people who can afford it, and the rest are provided with very mediocre or poor education, which leaves them pretty much in the same situation that they started off with. They're disadvantaged and they remain poor.
Yeah, that's the main issue. Okay, they are thinking that they are getting an education, but there's no worth of that education.
Exactly.
Actually, one more thing here I want to understand that previously we have the concept of the education, but after a few years we have been observed that we are using the word quality education. So how would you define this term, education and the quality education?
So everyone has a very different idea of it, but in my opinion, quality education is knowledge that is necessary for someone to live a comfortable life. Comfortable life in the sense that, okay, so education is the basics that we teach in every school: math, science, social studies, English, Urdu, all of
Yeah.
those. This is something that we always have in schools. That is what we characterize as education. But I feel that that's not quality education, because for quality education, you need to be able to communicate your thoughts. You need to have some sort of presentation skills, be able to
True.
work in a team. And more importantly, I feel that you need to be able to use the textbook knowledge that you were taught in a practical situation. Just knowing
Actually,
for like we're a primary school right now, so I can't give very practical scenarios right now, but
yeah.
just knowing the five senses isn't useful to kids or us in general unless we don't realize that we actually use them in our daily lives and the effect that they have on our perceptions. These are things that people go on to use in marketing and other
Yes.
situations as well.
That's great. So, Navira, what I have been observed that there's a huge gap in the practical world and the education which we are getting or which we are giving. So, how can we make this classroom education better? So, once the students pass out from the school or the university or from the college, they become the useful part of the society and they bring some change in the society.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. So I don't know. So you can
When?
call me optimistic, but I believe that Pakistan is at a turning point right now. Technology
Yes.
made us all
Yeah.
a lot more aware of and connected us with the rest of the world. we can use this to our advantage. Pakistan is a growing economy right now where small businesses and startups could really thrive. And that's something that I want to sort of instill in these kids as well. I want them to grow up with skills and the confidence to not just look for jobs, but create them as well. And
Yes, yes.
entrepreneurship is something you can't really teach as a subject. I know people do, but I think it's something that needs to be ingrained in students from a very early age. When you give them the opportunity to make decisions and learn from their mistakes in a school type environment where it's safe.
So objective should not be like that to get a job, but you must have certain skills to play a better part in the society.
Exactly. And one big thing that I've been noticing recently is the fact that since when we grew up as millennials, we grew up in the era of technology, where we were asked to memorize formulas when we were in school and historical dates for our exams. But by the time we all reached our careers, we all turn to Google for basic information now. I don't want the new generation to waste time on memorizing information that is literally a touch away. They need to have skills because that's what will be valued in the future now.
I completely agree. Achha, while I was preparing for this podcast, I got to know one very interesting quotation of Imam Ali. He said that do not raise your children the way your parents raised you. They were born for a different time. In this, I believe that the role of teachers is also very important. If they are not aware about the future, what's going happening in the after 5 or 10 years, it's not possible to train a child or train a person who has to be in the world for the next years. So what do you think, how can we make or how do we train the teachers for the upcoming time?
So that's something that's been the biggest and constant challenge that we face right now, is the fact that we lack trained teachers. You can very hardly find any teachers which are trained. People tell you they have a lot of experience, but I feel experience doesn't translate into training. That was also one of the main reasons I decided to join the education sector, because I taught at a school as a volunteer for a couple of months when I was in the 9th, 10th grade. And I realized that the reason our literacy rate is a joke right now is because our teachers don't have the necessary training to teach. They encourage memorization and follow books to the last word. Students can answer every question in a textbook, but if you tweak the question just a little bit and ask the same thing again, they will stare at you blank.
It's a dilemma.
Teachers are trained to teach exactly what the book says and nothing more, and students are trained to answer exactly what the teacher says and nothing else. Teachers focus on the bright students and neglect the weaker ones. They use just one form of delivery and expect all kids to respond to it. Discussions are not considered an important part of a classroom. Only finishing the syllabus is something that's important. Which is where I feel oftentimes, even if you've been a teacher for 10, 15, 16 years, if you have the wrong teaching methodology, you're always going to remain a bad teacher. And that's something that I feel private schools consider this to be important, which is why their education is oftentimes better. They put their teachers through a lot of rigorous trainings, but I feel even for them, training isn't as important as it should be.
Exactly. We must need trained teachers who played the major part in the society. In the last, I want to know that the future of Al Bayan School. What's your upcoming plans for it?
So right now, at the moment, we're just struggling with COVID. But right now, we need people to be aware of this problem. Just because a child goes to school doesn't mean they're getting the right education. And other than that, we need donations right now so that we can support our school and afford to hire and train good teachers. This can be in the form of student sponsorships, like you can sponsor a kid, it could be zakat, it could be one-time payment, monthly commitments, or even donations in kind, like books and stuff like that. We plan to expand the school every year as our kids get promoted. We started off with playgroup and 1-2. We're moving on to grade 4 soon. Our eventual goal is to be able to send these kids off to good colleges with the right education for them to be able to support their own futures. Right now, I would just ask everyone to help us in whatever way possible. We're only 2.5 years old, so we want donations, we want good teachers. We hire interns as well to give them an experience of working with a non-profit. We take on volunteers to help people actually feel involved and to help us conduct some extracurricular activities, because oftentimes the people who want to give back and do something for the community, they often don't have time as well because they're working full-time jobs. I understand that. I have worked a full-time job. I've been a full-time student while running the school, and I know you can have very little time sometimes, but people want to do something, and if they want to, they can just contact us. We can usually find time that they can give to us.
Yes, thank you so much, Navira, for your precious time. It's honor for me to have you on my show. And I need one more favor. If you do share your account details, so anyone else who wants to share or who wants to donate towards your school, so they can do it
Thank
easily.
you so much. Thank you for having me, and I will send those to you.
Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz. Welcome back to another episode of podcast.